Hey, in this video, we're going to take a look at a brand new product from GoPro called the Volta. Now, this literally just came out. I got the email about its release yesterday and I ordered it right away. And much to my surprise, it actually showed up today. This is an accessory for the Hero 9 and Hero 10. It's basically a combination battery grip, tripod, and remote control. So let's find out if it's worth your time or your money. All right, let's get this thing out of the box real quick and find out what you get. Couple of big manuals. They give you a replacement side battery door that's got an access port for the charge. Your typical thumb screw. All right, so that feels nicely made. It's got a little coiled pigtail charge connector on the side. It's got some remote controls on the front here. I'll get you some close-up pictures here and you can take a look at that. And I'm not sure what this thing is on the back side here. If it were some kind of clip to attach it to a backpack strap, that would be super awesome. I'm not sure if that's what it is or not, but I would certainly like that. It's got a 1/4-20 socket on the bottom. Okay, so let me go live with this thing for just a little while and make sure that I understand all the functions so I don't give you any incorrect information. And then I'll be back with you in just a little while, or maybe right now. And we're back. Okay, so this wasn't really all that complicated, but getting it to work was a little more complicated than I expected. So this thing has the ability to remote control your GoPro from the handle without using Bluetooth, directly from the cable. So if you've got the cable in the side, it's supposed to be able to allow you to switch between your modes. So time-lapse mode, video mode, photo mode, and do all that sort of stuff just from the handle without having to get around here and fumble with the buttons on the GoPro. But that was not working for me. I was able to get the Bluetooth to sync just fine because this thing actually acts as like a Bluetooth remote. So you could set this up on a separate tripod if you wanted to, and then walk up to nearly 100 feet away and start and stop recording, change modes, and do all that from a distance using the handle with the Bluetooth connection. But the reason I couldn't get the wired connection to work as far as the handle controls was because there is a firmware upgrade. I think it's 1.40 maybe. I'll put a thing on the screen here to show you. But then, so I had a little bit of trouble actually getting the firmware to install via the Wi-Fi connection. And I still haven't figured out why that didn't work. But never fear, GoPro does give you another option. I went on to GoPro.com, went to their support page, and they have instructions where you can download a zip file, and then you unzip the file and copy the contents over to your SD card, and then you put your micro SD card into the GoPro, power it up, and it automatically installs the firmware update. Once I did that, the thing worked just fine. It worked fantastically. So now it completely works. Basically, I'll put maybe a close-up here. But as far as the buttons go, you can press the power button. It'll cycle through and tell you how much power you have on, as far as the charge goes, on this particular battery. It's a little more than double the capacity of a standard GoPro battery. So you can basically triple the life of a single battery by using this handle. So depending on what you're doing, you may need to still bring another battery or two just in case. Now the mode button on the bottom obviously allows you to switch between the modes, as I said, and it'll show you with a little LED on top whether you're in time-lapse, video, or photo mode. And you can just kind of toggle back and forth between those. You can press and hold that mode and it'll shut off your GoPro. So that works really great. The other thing that I like about this is that, in fact, this thing on the side is an extra mount for like a strap mount. And I had mentioned in a previous video, I'll put a link up there if you're interested in seeing it, about some of my favorite accessories, because I just got the Enduro battery and I've been starting to use this backpack strap clip more often so I can go completely hands-free. But I really did like sort of the ability to take this off, and do the talking head stuff just on a whim, and just have it really convenient. And that's why I used this setup for so long. This uses an Ulanzi battery. This particular one, I think, and I mentioned this in the other video I mentioned, 6,000 milliamps. They offer a 10,000 milliamp version, which is a lot beefier than the 6,000. And even this handle is a little bit more higher capacity than this. And I want to say that 10,000 version is around $50. Now, of course, you need a tripod with that. And the 10,000 may actually come with a small tripod. You may want to check that. I'll put links below if you want to go check and see if it does. Now, the one downside to using this is obviously it's a lot more bulky. This has an integrated tripod in it, right? If I'm just stopping for a, a water break or a snack break and I don't want to lay this in the dirt, I can set it down like that. Now you may be looking at it going, well, how do you film like that? Well, this thing is rotatable. So I could actually just rotate this, into a position where I can actually use it. And that gives me, actually a ton of functionality in a very compact, grab it and go kind of form factor. It's quite a bit more compact than this is, even if I'm walking around with this. And this is the smaller one. I'm not sure you can buy the 6,000 milliamp version of this one. I think you have to get the 10,000 right now. And that's a couple inches taller. So, I mean, we're talking like double the length of thing that you're carrying around. This can slip into my pack. Now, it is a little bit more expensive than a setup like this. So this is going to cost you $50. And I think this is the same on the 10,000 milliamp version. But the ports are exposed. The Type-C and the Type-A port, they're completely open. Now, I will say that GoPro has done a really nice job that the charge port on this thing, which is underneath where the cable comes in, and it, there's got a Type-C port in there that's recessed a pretty fair amount. So not only has that got like a water resistant cover over it, but the little port on the side here where you plug the little coiled cable into, this actually has a lot of rubber seal around it. And so when you plug the cable into that, it actually makes I wouldn't say a watertight, like where you'd want to submerge it at all, but it makes a very good water resistance. I would have no qualms about taking this out in the rain or heavy snow or whatever and getting a little bit wet. I don't think it would be a problem at all. This thing is not going to be anywhere near as resistant to the elements as this is. And then having the ability to have the remote control things right on the thumb, that's a minor convenience, but it's a convenience. And if you want to use the Bluetooth remote capability, that's pretty cool too. It's just really well thought out. I also like the quarter 20 on the bottom. That's a good feature because I don't have to dismount the GoPro or put a different mount on it in order to set it on another tripod. So if you just wanted to pack away, a mini tripod base, like this Manfrotto mini thing here, and then you could occasionally get that out, and it would give you a little bit more height. Now, obviously, you could use a taller tripod, but it's all kind of like standard stuff. I'm really liking this thing. If you like your stuff, to be GoPro branded. It does feel solid. I like the way that it feels. It's got a little bit of a rubbery grip. This one from Ulanzi, it feels like holding a Maglite flashlight. It's metal. I bought some of this black adhesive wrap, first aid wrap, and wrapped it around there so I had something cloth and a little bit tactile that I could hang on to, so I wouldn't slip out of my hand if my hand gets sweaty. This has got a nice rubbery grip to it. I feel like it's just really, really well thought out. And I like the fact that I can pivot this into any position that I want. So I think I've covered everything about this. I give this 2 thumbs up. Definitely going to use this as part of my everyday kit when I go out on hikes and outdoor stuff. I think it's a great addition to my GoPro accessory. So highly recommend it. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And anyway, that's all I got for you. Hope to see you in the next one. Until then, have fun out there.